Hello super friends and welcome to DC TV Talk. This is the show where we talk all things Supergirl, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow and Black Lightning. And in today's video we're going to be discussing the next potential crossover between The Flash and Supergirl. So let's discuss. So if you've been following all of the Arrowverse shows for at least the last couple of years, you will know that for the past couple of seasons, we have had a Supergirl and The Flash crossover. The first one, which was when Supergirl was bought by the CW and moved over to that network. So The Flash was brought in for an episode of Supergirl just to kind of show that connection, and also to give Kara a connection with somebody on Earth-1, so that when they would inevitably cross over again, she would know somebody, and that person was Barry Allen. And that was a really cool little crossover, but nothing amazing. It was just a cool little thing. And then last season we got the extremely divisive musical crossover, which I personally loved as someone who loves musicals, but I know a lot of people didn't. But this was kind of a weird one, and I know why people didn't like it, because it did come out at kind of the point in the season where it should be ramping up towards the finale, because it was episode 18. But it was a really fun crossover for me, where it was all just one musical, all the characters were playing different versions of themselves, and it was really cool, and it was kind of like a little Glee reunion, which made a little fan in me very happy indeed. So will we be getting another Supergirl Flash crossover this season? I think it's very, very likely. I feel it is just going to be one of those things that's going to happen every single season. And because of a little name drop that was given during the last episode of The Flash, being Trial of the Flash, a name was dropped by Earth-2 Harry Wells. It has led a lot of fans to speculate and believe about what the next crossover could be, involving Earth-15. So in the last episode of The Flash, being Trial of the Flash, we saw there was that metahuman called Fallout, and there was the part where obviously they had to go and deal with him, and Barry basically turned him around and was putting him into the tornado, and then Cisco had to vibe him somewhere else. So Harry told him to vibe him to Earth-15 because that is a dead Earth. Now this has led a lot of fans to speculate about Earth-15 and what it could mean for the future. Could it ever be brought up again, or was it just a simple throwaway reference to give us more expansion on the multiverse? So a lot of people believe that Earth-15 is going to be the Arrowverse's interpretation of Earth Prime, which Earth Prime was a extremely lush Earth, almost like a paradise, which was eventually ravished by a character who would be known as Superman Prime. Now, Earth Prime had so many different heroes, but they didn't actually have to be superheroes because crime was so low. The crime rate was so low, but these heroes had to suit back up and become the heroes they once were due to the arrival of Superman. So Superman Prime is exactly what it says on the tin. I mean, it's literally, he was the most overpowered, probably most evil version of Superman that ever come to exist within the DC universe at that point. He did arrive on Earth Prime, as it was called, and ravished it into a wasteland. And this is a very cool story in the DC universe, in the comics, that I believe they could adapt into Arrowverse for a mini crossover. It may be a bit of a big story to adapt for just one episode, but I still think it'd be really cool. And this doesn't even seem as out of reach as it would have done a couple of years ago, because we actually have Superman on Supergirl. We can use him. He is there. Of course, he's played by Tyler Hoechlin, who I think is a brilliant Superman. I think it'd be really cool for him to play a more evil version, to fight Kara and to fight Barry and potentially other members of Team Flash and Team Supergirl as well. I think it'd be really cool. It just depends on where this would take place. My personal theory is that we'll start off with the Supergirl episode and we'll start out on Earth-1, where we'll see basically Superman come over, and perhaps Superman is on there with Kara. He's just sort of celebrating, you know, they're meeting up, and then Superman Prime shows up from Earth-15 in this case, and perhaps just has a bit of a scrap or sends a message, and this causes Superman and Supergirl to go out there. And also Supergirl, you know, she knows Barry, so she calls the Flash for backup to fight this Superman. We will then see all of our characters, you know, Superman, Supergirl, The Flash, and potentially other characters. Like we could see Martian Manhunter, we could see Guardian, we could also see Vibe, Killer Frost. We could see them all, maybe even Ralph Dibny, the elongated man. That'd be really cool. And we could see them all jump over to Earth-15 to see what this actual place is like, and maybe we'd actually get the recurrence of Fallout, maybe just like one little cameo. That'd be quite cool. And we'd see how they're all trying to deal with the fact that this Earth has just been ravaged by another Superman. We would then get to see the actual Superman Prime, who had just destroyed this Earth. And I think it'd be really cool to give Tyler Hoechlin perhaps a different version and a completely different look. You know, maybe give him a new suit, give him perhaps maybe facial hair. That'd be really cool. And make his Superman Prime extremely different and extremely unique from the Superman we've seen on Supergirl, and I feel that would be the perfect way to have these two different versions. That worked really well last season on The Flash with Barry and Savitar. I think it could work really well here on Supergirl. Plus, imagine this final battle where we would have all of Team Flash and all of Team Supergirl versus Superman Prime. That would be an insane final fight, and this could also just be a way to just stop Superman Prime from ever going to any other Earth to make it a wasteland like he did with Earth-15. And it would be really awesome to see this final battle, especially to see Superman fight Superman. That would be really sick. You could have the Flash there, you could have Supergirl there, and all the other members of Team Flash and Team Supergirl taking on this big threat. Using this storyline would be very beneficial to the Flash and Supergirl because their crossovers, their past two crossovers, have never really been anything super consequential. They've always been something a bit more offhand. Like the Flash was literally there just for like one little thing for one episode, and then there was the musical crossover which was completely disconnected, and even the villain for that, the Music Meister, even though I loved him because he was played by Darren Criss, he didn't even have anything sort of evil planned. He was literally just this one-off villain and was kind of wasted. So I think giving the Flash and Supergirl crossover this big story to handle and deal with is something that would be very good for them, because they would be actually able to show that these crossovers are more than just fun little spin-offs. They're actually big stories, and they can adapt something big, and it's not just saved for the big 4-part crossovers or now potential 5-part crossovers. I feel that this would be a good way to actually bring all this together and show that yes, these crossovers can be big on their own. So I obviously discussed the musical crossover, and I did make a video a while back on this channel about will we see another musical crossover. I don't think it's likely. I think it'd be way too convenient to have another musical crossover. It depends if they bring back Darren Criss as well, and it'd just be weird because we already know that Darren Criss's character doesn't really have anything evil planned, like I said earlier. And also I just feel that it was too divisive, you know. People really hated it. Some people really loved it, such as myself, but some people really hated it. I feel that doing another musical crossover would be crossing the line just a little bit. So, will this storyline happen? Honestly, I don't know. This whole rumour mill that's been going on about Earth-15 after it was name dropped, I feel is perhaps looking too far into it. I feel that literally, you know, because we have we have 53 Earths within the multiverse now. You can literally just pick any number. It was literally a roll of a dice, I think. But this could happen. It is a potential. Like I say, it is basically set up now. It could be really cool. And like I said, I think it'd be an amazing storyline for just these two crossovers to actually do together. So what do you guys think about the potential Crisis on Earth-15 crossover? That's what I'm going to call it. What do you guys think about it? Do you think it's a cool idea? Do you not think it's cool? Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think it'll happen? Do you think it won't? Like I said, I think it was a bit more of a roll of the dice thing, but it could be there. It could have been a backwards setup that we didn't even realise, and that would be really cool. And also, I think these Flash Supergirl crossovers, I think we are going to keep getting them. I think they've been, 2 years in a row. They've both been pretty successful, so I think that it would be smart for them to continue each year. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, it would help me out a lot. And share this video with anybody and everybody you know who loves DC TV, and get them to join the community. And as always guys, tell me in the comment section below what you thought about this video, what you thought about the topic. Do you think this crossover is a good idea? And if so, why do you think you would like to see, would you like to see happen, in this crossover? And also, do you think these crossovers between the Flash and Supergirl will continue? Because this has not been confirmed whatsoever. So like I said guys, thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again in the next episode of DC TV Talk.